don't want them on
They're
me.
focusing on Casey because of all this crap that's coming out, all these pictures that are coming out. I can't control all this.
2 or 3 years ago.
I can't control all this. But because the media is eating this up, what we need to do is we need to keep the media focused on Kaylee. We do not talk about Casey, okay? And if they ask you anything, well, what about this? What about this? Say, we're looking for Kaylee now. Period.
Right.
I'm not here to talk about anything I've talked about before.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell
Kaylee
them.
now.
I don't like to answer questions about her.
But when you go on Larry King and they put you on the spot, it forces you to say something because obviously you don't want to look bad. And unfortunately, they're professionals at this. They're gonna paint you into a corner.
They're trained to get a response out of
the
you.
unfortunate thing is, Larry King assured me that I was going to get time to talk about the efforts we're doing for it. They suck you in on
And
it.
did they?
Oh, of course.
They gave you all the time you wanted to talk about what you guys were doing.
No, they didn't.
So you see how that works?
They pick and choose little portions of what you say.
Oh, I know, and that's what the local media does too. And that's what I said. If they show the whole darn thing, then things would be painted
So
right.
if people are sitting in their house interested to see how they zing you next, that could be out looking for the baby. You see what we're trying to say is there's a lot of negative time getting spent.
That's what I keep telling them. The positive.
We need to focus on forward. We need to stop asking stuff about that's already happened.
We've been
focus on
asking
forward.
for you guys to meet with us. We have for a while.
It's-
Lee
it's-
even said he talked to you last weekend.
I've talked to Lee a lot.
I know,
I've
but
talked to
George and
a
I,
lot.
but you know what? You guys think I'm some freaking lunatic. I'm not. I'm a grieving grandma that's
We're
looking.
not saying anything.
But you and John quit calling me, quit talking to me.
You know why? Because right after that bond hearing, even before the bond hearing, your relationship with us became adversarial. Because
you blew it that morning of, honey, when you threatened to send a police car to my dad. You know why I was protecting
information
him.
that we need immediately.
But I called Terry back within a few minutes, or you knew that.
We have to do a job.
And to have the prosecutor state that I would be uncooperative.
We have to do a job. And listen, I've asked you for your credit card records. I asked you for that same morning. Where are they?
There's nothing on there. I already looked at them.
Okay. See, that's the answer I can't have because I know that she had your JCPenney card. I know that she went all over the place with your JCPenney card.
I gave Lee my JCPenney
You have to give it
statement
to us.
to give to you.
You have to give it to us.
He said that he was the go-between.
Listen.
I know.
This is stuff we need. You can't hold it back because this is how we do our investigation. Now, your personal credit card.
But you guys didn't want the receipts for the JCPenney card.
That's because we get it different ways.
Okay.
We need to have the whole thing. Receipts, you can give me a handful of receipts, but I don't know if they're the whole thing.
Right.
I need to have your statement. Okay? So, what other credit cards do you have that she's used? What other companies? Because we know JCPenney. What about your bank card?
No, she didn't have either of my bank cards.
Which bank do you have a card at?
Bank of America.
Bank of America and what else?
Bank of America.
Just Bank of America. Is it a Visa or MasterCard?
It's a Visa debit card.
Okay. Is that the only other credit card that you have out there aside from JCPenney?
Yes.
You don't have a Dillard's or a Circuit City or a Best Buy, nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
Target, Walmart.
No, I haven't had a Target. I had a Target card years ago, but I let it expire.
Where's the JCPenney card that she was using? I know you took it out of her wallet that night.
I have it at home.
Okay.
I have it at home. I took
you
it out
still
of
have
the
it at
vault
home?
that night. And
What about the $200 that was in her wallet that night?
I took it.
Why didn't you tell us anything about it?
I told them. The
Tell
girls.
Who would you tell? You didn't tell me. Who'd you tell?
Whatever female officer was with us that night, I can't remember her name. When Lee brought back all the stuff, we dumped all the stuff out in the middle of the floor. I showed her all of it.
Okay. Unless you told me, I don't know about that.
I showed her the credit,
Okay.
but I told you there was a handful of receipts because all the sheriff's guys that were out there before were looking at all of them. Because I said, well, we could find times off of these, the times of those. I had those. I offered those up several times, and no one wanted them. But I told her...
And I explained to you why we didn't want the receipts.
But I said, I'm taking back my credit cards, and I said, I'm taking back this money.
Now,
and she...
One more question.
And she knew that I had it. So whichever female officer was out there that night...
One more question I want to ask you. I want to ask you this. Hopefully, if you can give me an answer. If not, I just want you to think about this. Okay? I know that after the gas can incident, please bear with me, let me finish. After the gas can incident, Casey borrows your truck, your green truck.
I don't know where that...
George actually saw her, I guess,
He never told me that.
Driving down the 408 and asked you, and you said that Casey had borrowed your truck.
I would not have let Casey borrow the truck after the gas can incident.
And it would have been like the 25th, because listen.
You know why I wouldn't, no, let me tell you why I didn't give her permission is because
But did she borrow your truck?
I don't know. How could she have borrowed my truck if I had it?
That's what I'm asking. The green truck that you drive, the green SUV, is that the one you drive to work?
That's the one I drive to work. If I had thought that she had my car any time during this time, then I would have.
So you're saying that never happened?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, the reason I want to tell you this is that she started calling people and telling people on the 25th? On the 25th, she's sending text messages to her friends saying that George drove her car, the white one. No, listen to me. I'm telling you what we're getting, okay?
That's conversations over the phone.
George drove her white car and may have hit something and killed it because the car was starting to stink.
She said there was a squirrel.
And she started telling these stories from the 25th on. Why? I just want to plant the seed, okay? You don't have to answer me. Why would you do that?
I have no idea.
Why would you try and pass off the smell? Because we all know that there was a smell in the car. I'm not here to dispute what the smell was, okay? We all know there was a very bad smell in the car. Why would she start to say to her friends and text message? We have text message. Why would she want to say, "Hey, I think my dad, hit something with the car," and then later on let's say, "Yeah, it looks like my dad hit something with the car and the car stinks."
I have no idea.
And
I have no idea.
I wanted to share that with you.
I have no idea.
And these are the kinds of questions that we have, because this was on the 27th, the text that she sends out. So we look, because listen, if your granddaughter walks through that door right now, we will all tuck our tails between our legs and be glad to do it. Okay? But these are the kind of things that we as the profession have to look into and ask the question, why? You read that, correct? So that's in the squirrel thing. We need to look and see, is that
Amy
there?
told me that she said something when I was driving Amy from the Florida Mall to the house. Amy offered up something about squirrels in her car. That was the first time.
What was your response to Amy? Did you guys discuss the smell of the car or anything? Not that it really amounts to anything.
Not that I recall, not that I recall talking about that. My main focus when I got Amy was leading.
Because I know when Lee beat you back to the house that day, he said, "Oh my goodness," when he went in the garage.
Oh yeah, you could tell. As soon as we got home, we aired it out. But see, the thing of it was, when George opened the trunk, the guy was with him. That bag, the pizza was in the bag, and it was all closed up. And when he opened because he had to open the bag to see what was in the bag, there was maggots in that pizza in there, and it was bad. I mean, it was really bad.
I'm not going to sit here and split hairs about that.
Well,
you deserve better than me doing that.
Bottom line is, though,
with you saying that in this conversation.
But think of it, though. I mean, if the car was there from the 27th, and this is fact, because Am Scott reported the car on the 27th, and what day, on the 30th, or it was reported one of these 2 days, I don't know. And then Am Scott got towed here. That had to have been closed up in that car for 19 days at least. That bag of stuff. At least through till the 15th when we picked up the car. Because if it was abandoned here.
We're not going to dispute that the car was dropped off on the 27th. Because we've already talked there.
No, but I'm just saying.
We already talked there.
But
listen, we can't dispute the smell with you. I can only tell you that in the over 12 years I've been doing this. You know what I did before coming to missing persons, because that came out in the trial. Okay, I can only tell you what I have sensed before. I know you as a nurse, you've been to the morgue before.
I've smelled dead flesh. I've smelled dead bodies. I've smelled burnt bodies.
And we're not going to go back and forth with this. I'm just going to know we're going to agree to disagree with this. Okay, but what you also need to remember. There are different aspects of this that we need to pay attention to. We're focusing on finding Kaylee. I will not come to you and tell you anything but that unless I have definitive proof.
But are you looking for a live Kaylee or a dead Kaylee?
We're looking for Kaylee, Cindy, because we don't know where Kaylee is. And listen, look at this from the outside. I know it's tough. Okay, pretend this isn't your daughter. Pretend Casey is not your daughter. What would you think happened?
I don't know.
Pretend Casey's not your daughter. all the lies, all the inconsistencies, all the stories, all the evidence, all the facts, all the people that don't exist, what do you in your heart believe?